Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo with me, Rangaroo, and today we are doing a 4v4 on gunboat diplomacy once again. So, on the Blufor side we have Tatrakrad, Her 98, caedwalla, and GenVec. While on the Redfor side we have BrotherPedro, Strelok 915, ATUI, and Lex 420. So, let's speed things up and get things going, Sari. Marking down the markers, lots of markers. I absolutely love people who use markers. Bit of a sneaky thing around here, seems like from caedwalla. And away we go. Okay, we've got a starfighter off the bat. Redfor bringing out two F6s. Some pretty cheap planes so far, these F6s. It's like a bleeding MiG-17. With just air-to-air rockets, a very old-fashioned plane. Starfighter's going to be dropping in some nate, trying to block the bridges, but these helicopters will be able to just bypass that. But a bunch of BTRs here, they're going to have to diverge their route. And all Blufor doing a bit of a helicopter rush. We've got these BOs and tigers, and they're going to shoot them down with their Stinger missiles. Z9's hitting the dust. And Blufor doing a pretty successful helicopter rush at the moment. Oh, we do have a Z9 here. It's going to run out of ammo. Will it kill the Z9? Oh, it kills it just before it could land. And away it goes plop. And Blufor going to be landed onto the enemy side of Delta. Very good crick on early rush. And moving up into Charlie with Ferret NTACs. Ferret NTACs. Now the Ferret NTAC, it's a little ferret, has a normal machine gun, and it has these really odd little rockets called the NTAC. Very short range ATGMs, but they pack 20 AP power, and they're very inaccurate. Kind of an odd rush. I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen this unit being used, and M41 Walker Bulldogs. This is the NATO T-34 us, ladies and gentlemen. This is an awesome way to start a match, I'm not complaining. Yo, the bridge is a bit blocked up, as you can see, and the PT-90s and Stroms and NORADs are just going to pick them all off. I'm waiting for a bomber just to come in. Oh yeah, we got a J7 Yak. This is going to be beautiful. This is going to be beautiful. Let's slow this down, do a bit of bullet time here. See the bomb coming right in. Oh, that's going to land a little bit too early. I see right the bomb. It's going to get Yak, and we got Yak 38 dropping in some more bombs. You see them in nice and slow motion. The bombs are actually drawn, as you can see. It's not just a tracer effect. It's really cool looking now. Look at it. And look at those Bulldogs. And kaboom! Kaboom! Yeah, and that's why you don't rush over bridges. You get blocked. And Redfor, they're bringing up a navy. Got a bunch of Shantos, a very crappy riverboat with a autocannon and a recoilless rifle. And we've got some Jingchanchus coming out. Very nice frigates. And a Centaurians. Oh, giant! That is some traffic congestion or what? You can see some of them just wriggling around because it's all just. They're all so close together. Well, up north it's going pretty well for Blufor. They do have Delta and Gulf under their control. Redfor trying to pick themselves into Delta, doing some long range ATGM with the BMPs and moving up somewhat straggly with the Centaurians and these Herdemen, bloody Scandinavian names, Danish reserve troops. In a very nice position. Tatrakrad holding out. And Blufor definitely do have the land advantage at the moment, but Redfor, they do have the seas under their control. And as every other time this map has been played, and one side just got the navy and the other side didn't, if Blufor doesn't stop this, they're going to lose Alpha and Bravo. Because bloody Jingchanchus can bombard these places, and you can just do naval landings into them. As he already bombarding Bravo a little bit, getting the Centaurians, and seem to be at AMX 1390. Those Legionnaires A little bit surrounded in between a rock and a hard place. Naval bombardment. Never want to mess with naval bombardments. X dropping in some more bombs, clearing that up. Now the funny thing is, Redfor, they're not going to be able to move in through Bravo through the land because of all the dead bodies. So they're going to have to go around this bridge if they want to make any progress. All as these NORADs, I believe the NORADs are amphibious, so they can actually cross the bridge. And this is Redfor we're talking about. Most of Redfor's stuff is amphibious. Yeah, he's going to dip himself into the water. Yeah, he can just cross it via that river. He does have the river under his control. He can even move up his Chantals to help him take Gulf and Delta back. And he's doing a pretty good job on Gulf, the Redfor side, bringing a bunch of reserve infantry to clear it out. And moving into Mott's directly around top part here. But Centurions are just pounding him away with their 70 or 20 pounder guns. There's some BRDM-3s, a lot of BRDM-3s being brought out. Super Pumas, that's not going to kill Jing Changchus. They have very nice ECM, the Jing Changchus and Hujian. So we're going to easily shoot them down. And Blufor, they might want to either start prepping Alpha and Bravo for being landed on, or start getting some bleeding boating, because they spent all their money in this little assault up here. And crazy tank assault down here, it didn't work too well. So they're either going to have to try and hold these points back and put more defense into Alpha and Bravo, or just spearhead through Hotel and Juliet, because for God's sake, this Navy thing is going to be a real problem for them if they just let it linger. You know, they have Sandtails coming up the river. Yeah, just shooting the helicopters out they see. Jack Riders fighting Hertements, battled reserve infantries. And Redfor trying to make some progress into Delta. Got some more reserves coming up from here. Here. Redfor still making a very nice push. They got some ground units into Bravo. The NORADs have landed. Well, they are pretty low in ammo thanks to all those Rorqual Bulldogs they had to kill. And it's a pretty straight run for that VAB. It's like a mile and two's back in. I think that's got some reinforcements coming up. Super Puma's going to try its luck once again. But the Jing Changchus are going to shoot them down. Yep, with ease. Some Scorpion 90s. Now the Bravo CV getting picked off. Not looking good for NATO. Now bringing a lot more ground forces up into the top part. A bunch of Centurions and infantry guys to reinforce the flank. And Redfor is doing this great offensive, attacking on literally all sides. Just not giving NATO any leeway anywhere. If they can just keep this momentum up, they will eventually break through the Blufor forces. And that is what they need for victory. It's all going to be about Blufor stopping these attacks and trying to counter-attack up top here. As that is a nasty naval force. A bunch of Chantals, some Samels being brought out now. A lot of boats. An awful lot of boats. Now I've got some PT-90s, Stroms. I've got a very nice force in Bravo now, thanks to all these amphibious units that they can just ford over the river. OSA AKMs are very nice anti-plane and even anti-helicopter. Bloody anti-helicopter and anti-plane AA piece. Thanks to the fact it shoots missiles quite fast. Scorpion 90s, a bunch of them being brought out. Pretty nice little British cavalry tank, nice and small, but pretty okay gun. Good at knocking out these lightly armoured targets. Bringing out an awful bunch of them, even a Tatrakrad. There goes our cannon, Tatrakrad as well being brought up. The AA counterpart of the HJD. Blufor moving in to go for a bunch of Panzer Grenadiers and Hemskuchen to rest German infantry force. We're going to break through the Jacko dive and hopefully the Jack Rideys. And having the Panzer Grenadiers in this town would be quite nice because if they can get into this section here, their Panzerfaust 3, they can probably shoot at this range so they can stop any reinforcements coming across this bridge and then hopefully clear up the forest down here. And they are doing a pretty decent job holding back the forces in Delta. Got a bunch of them directly in BMP runs, but the Danish reserve infantry are doing an excellent job holding them off. And those Danish reserve infantry are cheap as chips, and unlike most reserve infantry, they actually get a machine gun for a lot of ammo. So they do an awfully great amount of damage. And then a submachine gun really helps in the CQC environment. Scoochins filling in the town. Santel giving them some support. And we got the Santel fleet going right down the river. And we bombarding anything they see. Fairly long range of those cannons actually. Fairly long range. I mean, they're shooting at Leopard 184 over here. That's a bit of a distance. That is a bit of a distance. I never knew they were actually that good. Or kind of a rubbish close range autocannon unit, but I was mistaken. And they do have 2 autocannons as well. So that's double decker. Double decker. The Santos are in position. We got SU-100s, the Red Army tank destroyer choice of World War II. That'll be help clearing in the infantry. And the SU-100 has like 4 HE damage, which is awfully big for a 15-point tank destroyer. It's a very nice gun. A very nice gun. Even to this day, it's not that bad. Not that bad for the price. And more SU-100 and T-62s being brought into Delta. I'm going to try and capture the area. More mocks directly. Centaurians in position around the flank. So just hold off against the Red Army invasion. Got J5 dropping in some nape. So burn up the infantry in Redfor are starting to make some really nice progress. They can even just capture this part of Delta here. They can neutralise the area very easily and start gaining even more points. At the moment they are at +2 thanks to owning Bravo. So hopefully they can get out to a lot more faster rate. But Blufor still isn't out of the game yet. They can still win this. They are in the lead in terms of points. And they are holding out sort of well in the top part of the map. Is this going to all about be a run big push to try and break us here? Or stopping the whole naval shenanigans down here? But that's a lot of boats they're going to have to deal with if they want to kill them. And these 2 Super Pumas are not going to be enough. Hind getting crow-towed. Yep. Pop goes Hind. You got some L's now being brought out. Pretty sexy looking ship with a very nice green camouflage, and it has rocket artillery on the back as well to help bombard enemy positions, as well as an autocannon and a nice little 76mm cannon that you see on the PT-76. So pretty nice mixed weaponry force. They're going to be going down the rivers, those BOs forced to retreat. Redfor managed to capture this part of the town that's the tip of Delta is under their control. The only thing really left here there was Hermantes and these Centurion 84mm on this side of the river. It's pretty open ground from here on the end. Oh, good old napalm the Centurions, those TO-55s. I love napalm tanks just for that reason. You can block line of sight and just force the enemy to bug off. He's going to burn up the Hermantes as well. I love napalm tanks. It's also a great unit when used correctly. And as you can see, it's beautiful. beautiful. As I'm looking at it here, Blufor could probably take advantage of this little gap. Just maybe. Because they're being pushed hard here and pushed hard here. But if you just look at the minimap and just look here, there's bloody nothing. Just Jack Riders here. And if they can just do one quick attack is an option for them. If they could do one quick attack down this road, trying to get whole town to Charlie ASAP and cut off the enemy reinforcements right down through the centre, they could hopefully bring us back. You know, a bunch of BTRs going across. NORAVs, PT-90s, a bunch of amphibious tanks. He's probably pretty glad that you got this many amphibious tanks in his deck, Mr. Pedro. This has really helped him just cross the riverside and ignore his complete just blockade of dead units. Looks bloody, absolutely bloody silly. There you got the M41 Walker Bulldogs in the back, and you got the mix of your AMXs and Centurions. It's like an AMX sandwich here. A tank sandwich. And we got the Concours. Getting some nice ATGM positions, just trying to force them back in Bravo. And Blufor did have a nice force in Alpha now, some AMXs, some Tigras, artillery pieces constantly bombarding Redfor positions, and some Rolands just around to keep it at bay. Now Redfor, they could actually just do a landing assault into Alpha right from here, get their boats onto position along its coastline and bombard the crap out of anything they see. But I don't know what they're doing, they are falling back their boats, maybe for rearms and rearm and repairs. And two of their Jingchanchus are on fire, quite literally. We want to get a resupply boat to fix them all up, get them out of ATGM range. And we got the Santals going down the river. And they're going to give nice fire support to the Redfor forces on the ground. And this is just a huge amount of Redfor guys just going through this entire sector. And I love how it's all this joint forces working together. You've got naval units going down the river. You've got the infantry units charging into the building with the BMP runs giving firing support. You've got helicopters landing in infantry to try and move in. It's just an absolute epitome of wargame right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's all these forces working together for the greater good. Let's take the point. And these Santals are just really bringing in hurt. Bringing in hurt indeed. Hem scooting of mountains to land into the town. Not too many Jack Riders here. Oh, we actually have some reinforcements coming up. And some Panzer Grenadiers as well. Got like the 2 and more the 1A3s in position to help. And the beautiful Panzer Grenadiers move right in. And I can start messing stuff up. Blufor onto the last remnants of the town, just have some hamlets and Danish reserve infantry, which is like hell, I cannot pronounce that. I cannot pronounce that whatsoever. Danish language is quite complex. It's not a beautiful sounding language, I'm sorry. It really sounds like someone's gargling on a frog when you speak Danish. Redfor gaining a lot of points, +5 at the moment. Blufor actually doing a pretty good job moving into Bravo. Got some chasseurs go around the flank, nothing left in the open. If they can get a CV, try to neutralise it, because they need to stop Redfor's point a cry accusation ASAP. Because Redfor, they have their boats back here resupplying. If they're RP, they can stop this little Blufor assault. And the Sassers, they did spot the BRDM. The BRDM is going to run down the hill, hopefully across the river, never to be seen again. Yeah. This is going to cross, and there goes Lex 420. You know, he's on the winning side. I guess he DC'd. Not entirely sure, but he had to leave. Redfor at 17%. They completely broke through the top part of Delta. Shantao's bombarding the bottom part of Delta. Now we've got most directly near BMPs. And this is just sort of completely surrounded here. And these dangerous reserves is not going to be enough. This is complete joint Redfor assault. It's too much for him to handle. Especially the boats. Especially the boats. And as we see again, if you control the naval, you sort of win the match if the other side doesn't bring in any naval units. So just for the love of God, if you have a map where you can get naval units, at least someone get a couple frigates here and there. Because you just, if you, like here for example, the Blufor didn't get any navy, Redfor moved up, captured Bravo for a majority of the match, and then they moved all their boats down the riverside completely uncontested to help interfere with Delta and Gulf. Because these boats really played a big part in capturing this area. A very big part. And how many, just looking at it, how many BMP-1Ps does Strela 915 has? I mean, there's so much more Streckley he's bringing out. So many more Streckley. I think his whole, I swear his whole deck is as BMP runs him most directly. It definitely seems so. We've got Bush Rangers engaging the Sand Towers. Hong Guy 3 in position to shoot them down. And the last infantry coming in to help defend the area. I think it also doesn't help out Blufor. They use mainly reserve infantry to hold your points. There's as good reserve infantry are when you have that much line infantry better than reserve infantry fighting you. There's only too much you can really do. T-72Ms going around the flank, attacking through here, and a +3 on the speed is up. I think we all know who the victor's gonna be here, ladies and gentlemen. Panther giving some fire and support, and the frigate's finally moving up. A little bit too late, yo. As yet will be a good game. In just 1 second. There we go. And that is going to be a good game for Redfor. Bringing that in for victory. Getting in just slightly better KD. Yeah, Blufor. But it's a really, really nice match from Redfor. Blufor did a pretty awesome helicopter rush all the way up top. They gained a lot of ground very fast. But they couldn't hold it, and Redfor completely pushed him back, and they didn't get navy. You need navy if you're playing on a naval map. It's very vital. Or as you see on Bravo, well, you just land on the air, get your amphibious units across the river, and away we go. But yeah, a pretty interesting match here, from tanks bound to naval bombardments. So very good, and I really liked Redfor's mix of riverboat and infantry assault into Delta, all just working together to completely overwhelm Blufor. Just a very solid play, yeah. And that's all I have time for. This has been another Rang Rouge cast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.